Good morning, girls. Last class teacher, we've started with exercise number 1 and 2 in page 68. We have marked the headline in exercise number 1 with the articles in exercise number 2. I gave you a homework, which is that you have to underline all of the words that are form of communication in the articles. Then you have to decide which words are written form of communication. Let's answer the homework together. Look at Article A. The words that are form of communications are gestures, signs, signals, response. These words are in Article A. Let's move to Article B. The words are postcard, card, mail. These words in Article B. In Article C, we have the word message. In Article D, messages, notebooks, phone, and box. Now, which one of these words that are written forms of communication? These words. These are written form of communication. Postcard, card, mail, text message, notebook, and book. Now let's move to comprehension. Exercise number 4 in page 69. We have to read the articles again and answer the question. Follow with me, girls. We're going to start answering the comprehension questions in page 69. Let's start with the question number 1. What do the words in bold refer to? We have words in bold in articles A, B, C, D. We have to know what do the words in bold refer to. عندنا كلمات بالخط الغامق بالarticles بexercise number 2 we have to know what do the words in bold refer to. Let's start with the first word, they. It is in article A, line 5. It is in article A, line 5. They refer to researchers. In article B, we have the word it. It is in line 2 in article B. It refers to postcard. In article C, we have the word it. It is in line 4 في السطر الرابع. It is in line 4. It refers to a helium-filled balloon. And the last word is them. It is in line 8. In article D, it is in line 8, article D. It refers to the content. Let's move to question 2. What are the 4 forms of communication in the 4 articles? You have to know the 4 forms of communication. These are the 4 forms of communication. Gestures, postcard, written message, mobile phone message. كنت تعرفوا صبايا إنه حل الأسئلة لازم نرجع للarticles A, B, C, D. So, question number 2. What are the 4 forms of communication in the 4 articles? Gestures, postcard, written message, mobile phone message. Question number 3. How do the chimpanzees communicate with each other according to the scientists in Borneo? Okay, according to the scientists, how do the chimpanzees communicate with each other? As we can see in article A, the answer is they use at least 66 gestures. They use at least 66 gestures. Now, question number 4. Why did the postcard take such a long time to be delivered? إذا منتذكر صبايا بارتيكل B, the postcard delivered after 50 years. بعد 50 سنة وصلت. So the question is, why did the postcard take such a long time to be delivered? Why? Because the postcard had been put in a post box again recently, so it had probably been left somewhere. ممكن إنها هي جديد انحطت بالبوست بوكس، ممكن إنها انحطت بمكان تاني وبعد هيك لقوها وحطوها بالبوست بوكس. Let's move to question 5. Why did the man in southern England take the balloon that he had found to his neighbors? إذا بنتذكر بارticle C, a girl, her name Laura Buxton, she wrote a message with her name and address on a helium-filled balloon, then she sent it into the air. A few weeks later, a man in southern England, he found it and took it to his neighbor. So the question is, why did the man in southern England take the balloon that he had found to his neighbor? Why? Because the man's neighbor's daughter was called Laura Buxton. البالون أصلا كان مكتوب عليه اسم بنت اسمها Laura Buxton, the man's neighbor daughter was called Laura Buxton. So the two girls have the same name. Question 6. Why do you think that the book of the text messages was published? This question is critical thinking, so you have to answer by yourself. I'll give you a suggested answer. The question is, why do you think that the book of the text messages was published? ليه هذا الكتاب اللي كان فيه text messages was published? Maybe because text messages are seen as completely temporary and is an interesting idea to make them into something permanent. ممكن إنه المسجات بالتليفون بتضلوا بشكل مؤقت. It is an interesting idea to make them in something permanent. يعني نحطهم بإشي بشكل دائم. Now let's move to question 7. Our idea of communication has changed dramatically in the last 100 years. How do you think it will change in the next 100 years? Okay, so question number 7, it's also critical thinking. You are going to talk about the idea of communication. We know that the idea of communication has changed dramatically in the last 100 years. Okay, how do you think it will change in the next 100 years? I'll give you a suggested answer here for question number 7, which is, I think that communication will become even easier. Yeah, I'm sure about it, that communication will become even easier, and perhaps you will just be able to think of the person you want to send a message to and the message will be sent. Okay, this is about me. You have to answer about yourself. Question 8. Letters are still often sent between friends, even though we can just send an email instead. Justify this statement. ممكن نلاحظ إنه بعض الناس أو بعض الأصدقاء لغاية الآن عم بيبعتوا رسائل مكتوبة، مع إنه بإمكانهم يبعتوا إيميلات instead معناها بدل عن يعني. Justify this statement. Explain why. I think people still send letter because a letter is an object that you can keep. It has sentimental value. ليه الناس لغاية الآن أو الأصدقاء بعدهم عم ببعتوا رسائل مكتوبة؟ Maybe because a letter is an object، شيء ممكن أنت تحتفظ فيه، له قيمة عاطفية، sentimental value, which means قيمة عاطفية. Okay, صبايا. We have finished answering the questions in exercise 4, comprehension question. I'm gonna ask you to answer questions 6, 7, and 8. As I said, these questions are critical thinking. You have to answer them by yourself. It is about your opinion. So answer these questions and send them to me by WhatsApp. Thanks a lot for you.